Today, I will guide you through some best practices for form design using the Manage, Test, and Publish features. I've seen a variety of methods over the years with our clients. Occasionally, I hear about the clone and delete method. This practice starts with building a form and publishing version 1. Then, when changes are required, the form is cloned. Modifications are made to the clone, tested, and published. The original form is then deleted, and the users move to the cloned form. This might seem like a simple and logical way to manage forms, but it is not scalable. As your system expands, you will begin to use nested icon boards to organize the forms for your users. Also commonly used is launching secondary forms from the original form. The user fills out this form, then returns to the first to pick up where they left off. These techniques require linking published forms. You will quickly find that the clone and delete method will become a daunting task to track and update all links. Another problem with clone and delete is data loss. All form submissions end up in the Data Entries area of the web portal. Table View presents a list of all forms. Choose one to view a table of collected submissions. Each column represents a field in the form. Every user submission is stored here and extremely valuable. The table is lost when the form is deleted. For these reasons, I want to walk you through the test and publish features. Let's dive in. I've built an animal welfare audit tool, and it needs to be tested in the field. Click on Manage Test to choose which users will participate. The users on the left will not be able to see this form because it has never been published, and they are not included in the test. We've made it as simple as possible to test changes while designing forms. I have both the form and designer open on my laptop. You can also have a mobile device with the app open and ready for testing. Notice how the choices for the farm are in a vertical list showing all options. I want to see how this looks as a drop-down instead. Switch the display type from list of choices to drop-down list and click Save. Then, back in the app, all I need to do is click the Force Sync button in the title bar, and the Choices field becomes a drop-down. Our users have tested the audit and everything is working as intended. We can now publish the form. All users will have access to version 1. Days, weeks, or months pass, and you decide that a field needs to be added to the audit. This is where some designers would follow the clone and delete method. In the designer, click New Version. Let's duplicate the Farm Choices field and change it to Barn and update the options. Click Manage Test and decide which user will be on the test. Users in the left column will remain on version 1. This prevents interruption of their daily work in the app, and only the assigned individuals will participate in the test. Here's a tip. The Run Required Checks feature enforces required fields on the user that is testing. By removing the check mark, they will be allowed to bypass these requirements. For example, the change you made is on page 3, but the first 2 pages are full of required fields. The testers previously had to answer all of these fields to reach that page. This feature allows them to breeze by the first 2 pages and test page 3 immediately. Looking at the form in the app, we see that the barn field is now in the form. Version 2 can now be published and will be available to all users. The app will store version 1 until all saved drafts and tasks using this version have been completed and submitted. The beauty of this method is the seamless transition to new versions. Here is another benefit to designing with versions. Go to the settings of the form and look at the version history. Version 1 is archived and version 2 is published. Click on the status of the version and notice that we are now in the context of version 1. Click Design. You can now refer back to this design anytime. Changes cannot be made, but the design can be exported to Excel and re-imported in a later version as a way of restoring this version. We won't go deeper today in the process. For more information, reach out to our incredible support team. They are ridiculously helpful. Let's wrap up with one more goodie. Jump to the connectors of a form. Notice the version at the top. Connectors are also tied to versions. Say, for example, that you are now on published version 3 of a form and make layout changes to a custom template. I mentioned earlier that the app stores the previous version until all saved entries and tasks are complete. What if you want to apply this new template to that previous version? Go to the settings of the form and switch to that version context. Click Connectors and note that we are now looking at the connectors tied to that version. Simply upload the new template to the connector, and all new incoming submissions will use it. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you see the value in adopting versioning for your design process. As always, please reach out to us if you have any questions. See you again next time.